Hi everyone, I'm Anubhav Nath, the director of Ojas Art Gallery, and we focus on the contemporary Indian tribal, traditional, and indigenous arts. Today, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about Bhajju Shyam, a Gond artist who is pretty well regarded and well known in the field. To begin with, Gond art is qualified as a tribal art. It is from the Madhya Pradesh region, an art that is practiced by the Gond tribal community. Also, I would like to add is that per se, the art is millennials old because it was practiced as a ritualistic art and it was practiced by mainly the women of the community. And they would have different art for different occasions and different events, for life events, for death events, for various festivals. And of course, there are a lot of people who were instrumental in doing that. But two names that come to my mind are Papul Jaikar, who was a champion for the tribal and traditional arts, and specifically for the Gond and Madhya Pradesh region arts. I would like to acknowledge the contribution of the Indian modernist J. Swaminathan, who, working on various projects in the Bhopal region at that time, really encouraged and mentored the tribals to come out and express themselves on paper. And as soon as this art started coming on paper, it became easier to transport. It became so much easier for it to travel. And that's what really led to the popularity of this art. So essentially, it's a very old tradition, it's a very old art, but the way that we see it now, it's very young. So it's a very interesting category in that sense, where uh, J. Swaminathan had a protege, Jangarh Singh Shyam, who was a tribal and a Gond tribal. And J. Swaminathan really helped him in developing his art and encouraged him a great deal. And it was with all those efforts and Jangar's own creativity that he was able to establish himself as an independent artist. And he was also able to uh, create a name for himself and a style. And today, what we see as Gond art may be referred to as the Jangarh Singh School of Art, or the Jangarh Kalam, as it's also known. Um, Among the present Gond artists, I would point out Bhajju Shyam, who is also Jangar's nephew and is from the same village of Patangarh and has very humble beginnings. In fact, Bhajju came to Bhopal as a security guard and he worked as a security guard, and then his uncle Jangar took him under his tutelage, and Bhajju learned from him. And Bhajju was really able to take the art ahead, and all that he's learned, he's been able to give it his own twist and his own style and his own flavor, and is adapted with his own creativity or accentuated with his own creativity to create his own style. So Bhaju's work also continues to be very narrative in style. I would like to talk about a particular work of Bhaju that is very close to my heart. It's called Mohini, and this work was specially commissioned for the Jaipur Literature Festival. And what's very interesting about this work is A, the scale. It's one of the largest works on canvas that Bhaju's worked on. And if you look at the detailing of the work, it's very very interesting. There are this work Mohini is based on Sita from Ramayana, and it depicts Sita sitting in Ashok Vatika in Lanka, and there's Hanuman there, and the whole idea being that it's a very narrative work. If you see that hundreds of apples are growing on the tree, which you really cannot count. Then again, each work, each apple, the bharai or the filling of the work is very intricate and very well executed. Bharai or the filling in the traditional and tribal arts is very, very important, as that is what makes or distinguishes a master artist from a not so well established artist. And in Bhaju's work, you will see a very definitive hand, a very strong hand, and his style is very unique. And what makes this work very interesting to me is that there's a three-faced deer which is in the tree, which represents Marichi, the temptation that Sita gave into while she was in exile. The combination of the three-faced deer and the apples makes it very interesting because the Ramayana per se does not talk about Sita sitting under an apple tree, but more about Ashoka trees being there. But I think the combination of these is reflective of the Christian missionaries or the stories that are prevalent in the region that Bhajju comes from. So it's an amalgamation of all of that that's happened at a very sublime level, and it's coming out in this work, which makes the work especially very interesting. Also, the demon women at the bottom, the heads of the demons, is very interesting. It adds another dimension to this work. What makes Bhajju successful, according to me, is his uh, desire to do more and his openness, his willingness to try different things. We experienced that firsthand when we created a Grey series for his first solo show with us. His work had been in a lot of colors and in black and white, but never in like a very subtle mute shade. So we worked and experimented with a Grey series that was very well accepted by patrons, by collectors, by the press. So, and Bhajju being experimental, he's sticking to his roots and traditions and not trying to be something that he's not, is I think what sets him apart from the other artists in the category. Bhajju is someone who sticks to his tradition. He's ready to experiment, but at the same time, he does not go move away from his identity. So that is something which is definitely another winning point. And he has been able to create a patronage from collectors, institutions, and the like. In fact, his works are also a part of the Sarmaya collection. And thank you for tuning in today, and I hope to see you guys again soon.